For several days, I explored a very special place. Hidden away in a corner of the Sulu Sea. It was a private world so incredible that words fail me. Because really, how does one begin to describe paradise?
Want the wind to carry me far away from here.
The sky has no limit here because not only do you have a lot of things to do on the island and you have the natural beauty of the island.
Above the water, you can see the seabirds flying around. Underwater, there's so much variety of fish and other marine life.
The river cruise itself alone will give you that feeling of relaxation at peace, and you could only hear the sound of the cricket around the mangrove area.
So there's a lot of interaction with the local community, and that's something which makes us very unique.
We are partners in protecting the reef around Banwa Private Island. They've been helping us over the years.
To preserve, conserve, and nurture what we have, what species that are thriving in this island.
We're not a traditional resort per se. We're a private island, and that makes all the difference.
Palawan has undoubtedly been on everyone's travel list. And more so when it was announced as the world's most beautiful island a few years back. Having explored its jungles, rivers, and beaches throughout the years, I can definitely see why. It's ancient, it's bursting with culture, it's mystical. It's the Philippines' last frontier. Just as I thought, I've scoured every part of Palawan. An invitation to visit a private island off its eastern coast comes my way. And I waste no time in getting on board for another adventure. Our destination? Banwa Private Island, around 270 nautical miles from Manila. The Augusta 109 SP Grand New seemed perfect for today's mission. Joining me for the flight was Peter Nilsson, CEO of Banwa Private Island. We took off from Manila and started on the flight, which was just a little over 2 hours. We passed over some of the most scenic mountains and sea views en route. With its spacious cabin and large windows, the 109 SP offered very generous visibility. I hope Peter was impressed, if not with my flying, then at least with the scenery and the in-flight service. As the island became visible, we positioned ourselves for landing. We were greeted by the full staff, who welcomed us with a traditional Cuyunan song, the local language widely spoken in Palawan. I was very thankful for their heartfelt welcome, and was especially glad to see Janet again, the island manager who has been a good friend for decades. Banwa which means community, takes its name from the Banwa people, descendants of the Philippines' earliest inhabitants. The Banwa are known as the guardians of the forests, rivers, and beaches of Palawan, keeping them pristine for thousands of years, allowing us to enjoy them until today. I believe the island was built with this guiding principle. The 6-hectare island is set in a lush, tropical Eden, steps away from stretches of sandy beach. There was no fussy reception area, no golf carts. I took pleasure in the short walk to my villa, one of only 6 in the island, each one facing the water. The villas vary in size and room capacity, from 1-bedroom to 4-bedroom villas, all equipped with modern luxuries. Each villa has its own pool and its own secluded beach. Inside, the mix of materials, texture and forms, illuminated by natural light, create a dreamy space. The interior seemed to spill into the outside spaces, all the way to the sea. A fluid visual treat that there is nothing but a feeling of calm resignation to the island's charms. Aside from the 6 villas, a building in the middle of the island called Axis houses 12 rooms, designed to accommodate the entourage of their guests. It has its own dining area, pool, and even billiard table. Above, a private 360 suite offers a bird's eye view of the island. Along the beach, juvenile blacktip reef sharks swim close to the shore, a sign of a healthy reef. And don't worry, they have no taste for humans, especially pilots. I imagine we taste spoiled because we often are. Speaking of being spoiled, I was a grateful guest joining my host Peter for a fun sunset chat at the island's breathtaking jetty.
We have been in operation now for about 2.5 years. We opened on 1st of May 2021, which was literally the midst of the pandemic.
Oh no, yeah.
But we did open with a bang. But the island has been obviously under development for a very long time.
I see the details that you have looked after, and I do understand it might take 10 years.
It's a small place, but the attention for detail has been tremendous, and it's been a very careful and very secluded area to develop a property as well. But anyhow, moving forward, we like to be recognized perhaps as the most exclusive island in the world, or the best island in the world, or the most unique private island in the world, which is absolutely fine.
About the experience.
Yes.
Can you share with me what we can do, the experience that we can have?
In terms of experiences, the sky has no limit here, because not only do you have a lot of things to do on the island, and we have the natural beauty of the island, apart from the villas, which sells itself, which is fantastic. And again, all our food and beverage is included. But of course, we have a 9-hole short game golf course on the island, which is good fun. A lot of our guests spend time in Meridian, which is a good facility to have, and a lot of our guests enjoy that. Apart from that, Aqua's Foundation is a big part of what we do. We have what we refer to as a marine protected area all around the island. We have a very pristine house reef, which is fantastic. And if you look around, the islands that we are nearby, as well as mainland Palawan and the Tumarbong Bay, we have an enormous amount of experiences. Currently, we offer 13 great experiences to our our guests.
What sets Banwa apart from all the other luxury resorts?
Well, first of all, we're not a traditional resort per se. We're a private island, and that makes all the difference. Being a private island makes us, first of all, much more nimble, and we can respond to guests' preferences and inquiries much faster, much more precise with regards to guest requests. We can make the journey so personal for guests because we have such a dynamic and well-trained team. You see, part of the whole ethos of Banwa Private Island is really to remove that commercial feel that you have in other resorts. You know, you don't want to see the logo everywhere. You don't want to be reminded that you're in a resort. And then we want to make it a more organic and flowing experience to the guest. And I think we've been very successful in doing just that.
Peter got me very excited to explore more of the island and enjoy the experiences we talked about. But the sun was setting over the Sulu Sea, so that ends my adventure for the day. Or so I thought. Up next, a midnight encounter with a hawksbill turtle begins a very exciting day getting to know the island's other inhabitants. As nighttime fell over Banwa, an even more private world emerges. Creatures move in the darkness, calling me out from my sleep. Actually, it was Janet, the island manager, who woke me up. There was something she wanted to show me, and fast. We made our way to the shore, where one of Banwa's security guys, trained to look out for wildlife, had identified a hawksbill turtle ready to lay some eggs. Females usually come ashore in the cover of the night, finding quiet sandy beaches to nest in. We switched to a red light so as not to disorient her.
Well, we did not want to stress the turtle, so we're just quietly trying to observe it. She looks like she's very tired. She's over the egg. I saw the eggs already.
They lay about 130 eggs in a clutch. Once finished, she covered the nest using her hind flippers. She does this not only to hide the eggs, but also to maintain the right moisture and temperature inside the nest.
Looks like she's going to reposition herself.
A very interesting detail is that after she has buried her clutch, she transfers and creates a decoy nest, making use of her flippers to disturb the vegetation to create this clever ruse. What a truly incredible experience, witnessing nature unfolding. It was totally worth losing sleep for. The next morning, I was very fortunate to get to talk to Dr. Teri Aquino, a wildlife veterinarian and close consultant to Banwa's Aquos Foundation, which I will learn more about in the next few days.
We witnessed a turtle laying eggs in the island. How many of these turtles make Banwa their home?
So as far as individuals are concerned, I think we documented about 60 nesters coming here and making their nests.
But don't they go out into the ocean and come back, remember exactly where they were born?
Not exactly, because, the islands change over the years. So by the time they come back here, which is about 20, 30 years later after they've been hatched, they come back and they might end up in the same vicinity as where they were hatched, but not always at the exact island.
So when they were constructing the island for the resort, what's What conservation efforts did they make for all of these turtles?
When they engaged me, I was able to help them minimize or at least mitigate the impact of their construction here. So one of the things that we needed to do was make sure that the turtle is not impeded from coming up the island and nesting where they're supposed to nest. And the fact that they have buildings well spaced out, there's at least an option for the turtle to find the space between the buildings where they can lay. So every step of the life of the turtle, it is constantly threatened. So more than anything, it's all about nest protection and documentation so that we would learn more about what the population needs and we can better understand the population.
How is the community involved in the protection of the wildlife?
We've involved them in our training. So it's not just the Banwa staff that's been trained to handle turtles properly or even marine mammals, for example. Every time there's a training, we invite the local community so they can think about starting their own initiatives in their area.
It was a very enlightening chat with Dr. Teri about the critically endangered hawksbill turtles who have chosen to make Banwa their nesting site. It has also become very clear to me that the resort's management was equally concerned in preserving the island and its wildlife for the future, as much as making sure you have a great stay. Everything was carefully built to keep nature undisturbed, with a challenge to protect and nurture the ecosystem found in the area. This challenge was given to Bernard and to the island's Aquos Foundation.
Knowing that we have this important species found in the island, the management opted to create this Aquos Foundation in order for us to preserve, conserve, and nurture what species that are thriving in this island. We also try to record the avian species found in the island because that shows how lush and how the island is not disturbed even though we're operational.
And there's food.
There's food available because of this lush gardens, lush environment. We have 62 avian species recorded from 2015 until now. 7 of those are under threatened list.
An important bird species that has also made Banwa its nesting site is the Philippine megapode or tabon bird, which I enjoyed getting to see up close.
Can you tell me more about this tabon bird? It's a very interesting species.
They feed on insects and some vertebrates which is available in the island.
It's funny when I see them, they're just always digging and making holes everywhere. What's the purpose of this?
One of the requirements for an area that they will choose to be a nesting area is that it should have
sand.
Yeah, it's sand. It should have an access with the direct sunlight, and it should be covered by a thick vegetation. So what's the purpose of having a direct sunlight? Because that's their means to incubate the eggs. By digging, they're increasing the heat of the egg. By covering, they're reducing it.
Can they feel when the eggs need the sun and
Yes.
when the eggs need to be cooler?
Well, actually, they know. They base it on the weather also. If it is too hot, then they will definitely covering them with more sand. If it is too gloomy, that the eggs need heat, then they will have to remove it. That's why we put CCTV cameras on their nesting ground so that we could gather information for us to understand them without disturbing them. And I think we're proud enough to say that we have the most information about these birds because this is a very poorly known even species.
Anywhere I go, I love observing and learning about the local wildlife. And here in Banwa, it's like walking around a nature reserve.
I spent a whole lot of time just looking for these birds. You know, they're usually camouflaged, their colors. But when you find them, it's such an achievement. And your whole morning of looking is worth it. Can you see that? It's a wild spider.
But I wanted to find one more on the list, whose calls I hear at night.
We're trying to look for the Mantanani scoop owl. They're very active at night, hunting, but in the mornings, they're just roosting and resting inside this tree here. It's difficult to find them. You'll have to see their big eyes. I have to go in and get a better view.
Their vibrant yellow eyes peer down at me from the trees. What's interesting is that these owls are very territorial. That there would only be one pair for an entire island. But here in Banwa, they have 2 pairs of owls, successfully breeding 12 fledglings. Bernard and the Banwa staff pride themselves in volunteering as citizen scientists in the different programs of the Aquos Foundation. They receive training in identifying, collecting data, and monitoring wildlife around the island. Here, they dig a turtle nest whose eggs unfortunately did not hatch. They launch a kind of forensic investigation, making a catalog of each unhatched egg. This island is not just a beach getaway. It's a sanctuary chosen by these wildlife and the setting of ongoing scientific research to understand them.
In order for us to conserve one species, we have to understand how it behaves. And then from there, we could do intervention successfully.
Up next, from the terrestrial, I dive into the aquatic world of Banwa, where more of its conservation efforts can be seen, before indulging in the island's culinary delights and impeccable service. Surrounded by the abundant waters of the Sulu Sea, Banwa Private Island sits on one of the most diverse marine ecosystems in the world. The island has a 5-star PADI dive center with complete diving equipment and certified dive instructors, always ready to take new or seasoned divers to see the vibrant underwater scenes. They currently have 15 dive sites in the area, with a recently discovered shipwreck site. Diving is of course included in the room rate, as well as all other leisure activities in the island. I went for a quick peek at the island's house reef. And just in the area, you'll find a place teeming with aquatic life. Aside from our friendly neighborhood blacktip sharks, we saw blue-spotted rays, cuttlefish, and the threatened giant clam, among a host of colorful creatures. Occasionally, divers would spot marine turtles and the elusive dugong. These waters are part of the Tumarbong Marine Protected Area, which the Aquos Foundation supports. Reef conservation has been a primary goal since the island was constructed, to protect the critically endangered hawksbill turtles, as well as to regenerate corals damaged by dynamite and illegal fishing. Their Reef Balls program, creating artificial reefs through microsilica concrete balls, has proven to be a success. 400 of these structures are scattered underwater, encouraging coral growth and the increase of fish variety and number. Coupled with community education and government support, it's comforting to know that these waters are looking at a sustainable future. If there's one thing missing in the island, it's mosquitoes. Yes, the island is 100% mosquito-free. Thanks to these ingenious machines scattered all over the place, which contain a mixture of water, sugar, and yeast, attracting the pesky mosquitoes to their death. That allows you the freedom to enjoy all the outdoor spaces and activities in the island, including a 9-hole short game course. Golf skills not required when no one is watching. I visited the Meridian, Banwa Sports and Wellness Center. There is a fully equipped gym and Pilates studio, as well as a yoga deck facing the sea. I had a mini reunion with Percy, whose career handling recreation in luxury resorts spans decades.
It's been a while, ha? Mga 20 years na siguro bago tayo
I
nagkita
think
ulit.
so, yeah. All my kids are big now. You will not recognize them. Thank you very much for teaching them before how to sail in the Hobie Cat and do other crazy things.
Small word, ha?
Percy urges me to try their world-class tennis court, which can also hold pickleball matches for those who caught the new craze. Never mind that I had not picked up a racket since 1977. Percy was a very patient coach, and soon I was feeling like my name was Raphael or Roger. Yup, aced it. For my reward, a nice relaxing world-class massage, which you can get unlimited treatments of, followed by a refreshing drink at the juice bar. Even their drinking water is drawn and bottled within the island. A triumph in deep drilling and microfiltration that is called Ban Water. If the Meridian seeks to energize, then the Latitude, the island's restaurant, aims to fuel you up.
Good afternoon, Captain Joy.
Hi, Josa.
I hope you're hungry.
We have a problem.
What is it, sir?
I'm always hungry.
Okay.
The service team are always ready to assist, while the kitchen team, headed by Executive Chef Ramzu Nasri, are always eager to satisfy every craving. They specialize in Asian flavors, but are also exceptionally skilled in serving world cuisines for the most discerning palates. You name it, and they serve it. Banwa makes use of ingredients organically grown in their own farm, which I hope to visit soon. For dessert, there is no escape from Chef Mara's delectable and sinful pastry creations. And of course, what is a vacation without a proper cocktail? I visit the resident mixologist, Sally, who regales me with the original cocktail blends.
I have prepared Banwa Special Duntian that's made of fresh pineapple and basil.
Ooh, I really need a cold drink. Ah, this is great. Well, nobody's looking. Do you have something with alcohol?
Well, I have a smoked Negroni.
Oh, okay. This looks like a science experiment.
Exactly. Something from the lab. Inside, there's gin, one of our premium gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth.
Also good. Thank you very much, Ali.
You're
I can
welcome.
escape now. I will keep the alcoholic one.
Enjoy!
All these are enjoyed al fresco, facing a stunning view. Guests can also choose destination dining and have a unique gastronomic experience at their chosen spot in the island. Having experienced all these firsthand, I am not surprised that Banwa has been awarded Private Island of the Year by Destination Deluxe for 3 years now, besting the top island resorts in the entire world. Of course, none of this is possible without the island's beating heart, the entire Banwa staff.
Of course, being in Philippines, we're working with wonderful Filipino people, which are probably the most hospitable people in the world, in my opinion. And I always wanted to work in Philippines for that reason. That having such a wonderful and gifted workforce it makes my job so much easier.
In true Filipino fashion, I was welcomed into their home and was treated like family. Yes, this humble 6-hectare home with 6 villas, a helipad, and some wildlife nesting sites. Their warmth and passionate service, coupled with the sanctuary that this place offers, is enough to call it paradise. In the second part of this journey, if you think you've seen everything that Banwa has to offer, think again. This time, the team takes me out of the island for a world of adventure and the meaningful encounters that await.
This has been your Captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asia